Hello, underachievers. Sorry if I sound and look a bit manky. I am ill. I ate too much ass. Obviously kidding. I have a very weak immune system, and I've been sneezing so much. Literally, I tried to take a thumbnail, and this is what happened. That is so disgusting. So today's video is about Trisha Paytas. So I don't actually know anything about Trisha Paytas. I've seen a few videos of Trisha Paytas. It's a good name to say. Of what I've seen of Trisha Paytas. Oh my god, I've just found this audio filter, and this is how my hearing is. This is how my ears hear things right now. They're so blocked. I thought she was quite funny, but I guess maybe I'm missing something because everybody seems to hate her and say she makes drama and goes and does crazy stuff for views, which, I mean, don't we all? But no, apparently she's a bit of a dick. Don't have any input on that. I'm not really sure what I think about her, but I guess we'll find out today. So, if you don't think I'm qualified to make this video, I am qualified. I'm actually trans. I have my titties removed. Yeah. I'm not usually one for reacting to people and making fun of them. I hope that's not what this video is going to be about. I've seen some stuff going around about this video. I made sure that I didn't actually watch the video, so this was a genuine reaction. I've seen some quotes, and they seem a bit iffy, and I know she's made an apology video now. If you want me to react to that, I could do that. If you want, maybe it's a bit too late, and I know that a bunch of people have already reacted to this, but I want to react to it, because I just thought it'd be funny. This piece of hair makes me look like I have a unibrow. Still there. It's not every day a popular YouTuber comes out as trans, so this is going to be interesting. I have no idea what to think. So I guess I should just watch it. Also, I feel like people were debating whether or not she's being serious. I feel like she's probably not, if, like, you know, I don't know much about her, but it seems like she does this kind of stuff for attention, which kind of sucks. But it also kind of sucks if she's not doing it for attention, and she's the trans female to male who cried wolf. Or quite trans. So, Trisha Paytas. Apology. Okay, well, first of all, it's got 36% like to dislike ratio. The apology. The I am transgender female to male video has 20% like to dislike ratio. So that's interesting. I am transgender female to male. Let's go.
Hey guys, what is up?
What is up?
Today, I am going to be doing a video that people might think is I'm trying to be offensive or I'm setting back like a movement. Something like that. But I want to talk about this because it's something that I actually have felt for a long time. Someone in the comments will know, like, leave in the comments below, like, someone will know.
Her nails are crazy. Also, wait, I don't know what pronouns to use. Everybody's been using she. Do I use they? I'm not sure. And I think the general consensus is that it's fake. So, she, Trisha? I mean, oh, this is hard.
I did a video, like, maybe it was right before I started dating Jason. It was, like, in January of, like, 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Does she not edit her videos?
Video, and I don't know if it's still up. I think it is, where I wanted to be referred to only as T because I didn't feel like I identified as a girl. Now, this seems like crazy and weird and shocking because I was born a female.
I get you.
I'm ultra girly now. I'm very girly, right? Because when I was younger, I was teased a lot because they said I looked like a boy. I had a boy haircut. People would call me like a man. Like, there was one nickname, and it's not even funny. It's not even weird. It's not even like clever. They'd be like, Trisha the Man Paytas.
My nickname was Man Baby.
I identify with men better. People always think like there's something wrong with me because I don't have like that many girlfriends. Like, I love girls. Like, I do love girls, and I love like their sensitivity and all that stuff like that. But that's why I identify more as like a gay man.
Alright. I really hope she's not trying to say that because she has more male friends and that she gets on better with guys that makes her trans. Because you can be a girl and be more masculine and have male friends. That doesn't make you a guy.
Because I like guys, but I also identify as a guy. If that makes sense.
She's getting confused with what she means by identify. Identifying as a guy, like actually being a guy, is different to identifying with guys. Like, you can have similarities with guys, you can have similar qualities, and you can understand them, so you identify with them as in, like, you know, you can understand them, but that doesn't make you a guy.
The thing that kind of like stops it is I do love, which a lot of gay men do too, I do love like glam and voluptuousness. So in my head, I feel like I'm a transgender female to male, but also like a drag queen. That's kind of how I've like rationalized it in my head.
And that's totally fine. People can be that, but just from the sounds of things, it sounds like she's not.
Because, like, okay, let me just tell you why I identify as a boy more so, and from an early age. I don't like to be center of attention, except when I want to be center of attention.
The amount of attention you want does not determine your gender. I know lots of guys that love attention and lots of guys that don't love attention. That's not a gender thing.
Like, when I want to put on a show, I put on the hair, I put on the makeup, I put on the outfits. But if you guys know me on this channel or my second channel or just in life, I never wear hair or makeup, like, in my day-to-day. I usually look crazy. Like, watch my second channel. I look insane. Like,
she's listing all these things that doesn't make someone a guy. It just means that you don't really care that much about how you look, which girls can experience.
And so I've always just kind of related to guys on that level, and I've always just been attracted to guys, but not straight guys. I've always been attracted to gay guys. So that's why I've, like, always thought maybe I'm a gay man.
No, I know a lot of gay guys that are into straight guys. That doesn't make them straight girls. You can be attracted to feminine. I'm guessing by you saying that you're attracted to gay guys, you're attracted to guys that are feminine. Straight guys can be feminine too, so I'm not really sure. Who you're attracted to doesn't determine your gender. Like, sexuality is who you're into. Gender is who you are. Sure, if you're a guy and you're attracted to guys, that means you're gay because your gender is male, and, you know, you're into guys. That makes you gay. But just because you like gay guys, it doesn't mean that you're a guy. There's also an issue with, like, fetishization, you know the word I'm trying to say, fetishizing gay men. That happens a lot within, like, the straight girl community. The straight girl community, is that even a community? At least in my experience, as a straight girl. No, I'm kidding. In my experience within, like, a fandom, a lot of times straight girls will pair up two attractive guys and act as if they're gay and wish for them to be gay and fantasize about them doing gay stuff together. Just because they're attracted to it. That's obviously an issue.
And, like, straight guys, like, kind of turn me off. It's very weird. Like, I hate, like, over masculine energy. So, like, as a girl, I just never really related to that.
I feel like that's not an uncommon thing for straight girls to experience. Straight guys can be incredibly gross. I think that's a generally accepted idea. Of course, you don't want to be hounded by masculine energy because that would make you uncomfortable. Being hounded by anything would make you uncomfortable. And especially, you know, straight guys usually... I don't want to get into, like, this whole debate about how gross straight guys are. Because obviously it's not every straight guy. Not all men. But you know what I mean? It's not uncommon for women to avoid that kind of energy because it makes them uncomfortable. But again, that doesn't mean that you're a guy or gay.
And then the final thing that kind of brings it full, I feel, transgender almost.
She just said full transgender.
Had penis envy. Yeah. Where I just...
Speak to literally any girl ever and she will probably tell you that, yeah, like, she would be cool with, you know, like, having a dick for a day. That's not abnormal. Envy is not the same as dysphoria, though. Trans guys, if they have bottom dysphoria, they are more than envious of people with penises. They don't just envy people who have penises. They literally feel like they are missing a part of them, and I get it, because it feels like phantom dick. It's like sometimes you look down and it's not there, and it's kind of confusing. This video is a lot.
This sounds so crazy to say out loud, but, like, I've just always thought my life would be easier if I had that part.
So, right. Obviously, I'm not here to tell anyone what their gender is or who is trans and who is not trans. The only reason I'm reacting to this video like this is because I've heard a lot about Trisha Paytas, doing stuff like this for attention, and usually it is for attention. Again, I can't decide who anyone's gender is, that's not my responsibility, only you know that. But realistically, yes, your life would have been easier if you were born with a penis, because, you know, the patriarchy. Sexism against women is still very prevalent in, like, every single culture. Your life would be a lot easier if you were a dude. I think that goes for anyone. It'd be a lot easier if you're a white dude, straight, cis male. Like, you know that. Wanting to have the privilege that men has does not make you a man. Like, realistically, I would love the comfort of just being happy in my body and just being, like, a cis girl, because obviously then I wouldn't be going through all this dysphoria and stuff. I want that comfort, but that doesn't mean I am a cis girl. I can want something from a particular group, but that doesn't mean I am a member of that group.
That if I asserted myself, I wouldn't be a bitch, but I would be, like, a man. And that's how I always think. When I talk to people, I think of myself as being assertive, and I think of myself as masculine energy, but because I'm a female and I was born with female parts, people think, oh, she's a bitch.
That is a sexism problem. That is not an issue with you being transgender. Like, I understand what she's saying, and I feel like a lot of the time, maybe she isn't doing this for attention, and she genuinely thinks she is transgender. But I see with a lot of people that don't know much about being trans, they don't know much about, like, being dysphoric. A lot of the time, they equate their negative experiences with being a girl in a society that's run by men. They equate that to them then being transgender, which is not a thing. And I understand that people are confused about that. I guess, like, gender and sexuality is kind of a complicated thing for people that don't know much about it. Also, I feel like if you have a platform like this, you should at least feel the need to educate yourself on what it actually is to be trans before saying that you're trans. When you're trans, you have gender dysphoria. You wouldn't just make a video being like, I have schizophrenia, because you feel like, oh, hey, I'm so different on different days, I have different personalities. And that's not even what schizophrenia is. But do you see what I mean? Like, you do the research if you have a platform like this. And even if you don't have a platform like this, I think you should at least feel the responsibility to, like, actually think about what you're gonna say before you put it on the internet.
The whole transgender community has always, like, called to me for some reason, and I never knew why. I'm like, well, if you guys, I'm not like, I don't go out and advocate for it, although I would be so down, and I love, obviously I love the transgender community, so, like, I should be the advocate for it. But
see, I feel bad. Like, I genuinely feel bad about reacting to this because I don't know anything about Trisha, and maybe Trisha's like a good actress or actor, or I don't know what to say. But to me, it seems genuine. I'm not saying genuine as in Trisha is actually trans, but genuine as in this is what Trisha is feeling right now. I think if Trisha was more educated on what it actually was to be trans, that would be a completely different thing and we wouldn't be having this video. I feel like it's our responsibility to, you know, educate people on this kind of stuff. Otherwise there will be people that are confused and calling themselves trans when they're not. And obviously that has happened. It has happened before. I'm so conflicted about this video. Maybe I've fallen into Trisha's trap. Seems genuine, I don't know.
But what was always stopping me was, like, I always thought, oh my gosh, am I trans? And I know I did, like, trolled and stuff in the past, and so I don't want people to think this is like a trolling video. I've known, like, I've, like, come out as, like, gay before, I've come out as bisexual before. And that's kind of why I have issues in general with just terms in general and labels in general, like male, female, gay, straight, bi. Because I don't know if I would say I'm confused. I would say I'm all of it. And that's why I don't like labels in general.
You're saying you're not confused, but you also feel like all of it, but you don't like labels? You sound kind of confused. I feel like in instances like this, if you're genuinely feeling this way, I think the first way to go about it is, you know, express yourself as you feel you want to. You know, like, dress the way you want, act the way you want. But obviously, when you're feeling like this, putting a label to it is not beneficial to anyone. You're clearly confused, and you're going to confuse people around you. And, you know, when you put out this idea that you have masculine energy that makes you trans, it's going to confuse a lot of people. By saying that by being masculine, you're a man, kids are going to see this and be like, oh, I'm a tomboy, that means I'm a boy. Which is not true.
And I've dated people who are bisexual, and people are like, well, they're gay because they date guys more than girls, or they're gay, or they're straight. Like, I don't like that you have to be one or the other, and you have to like something more than the other. I've always felt that way.
Like, that's respectable. Not liking labels is completely respectable, because even sometimes I'm like, I don't care. And that's not to say that I'm not actually a guy, and I'm not actually into dudes. That's not what I'm saying. But there are a lot of labels, and if you feel comfort in using those labels, 100% use it. Like, do what you want to make yourself feel happy. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, well, like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. But also, with this video, it kind of seems a bit hypocritical to say that you don't care about labels and you don't want to, like, partake in that idea. But then, by making the title, I'm transgender, female to male, and then by saying that you're transgender when you're clearly just kind of confused, it's just a bit iffy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not angry, and maybe I should be angry because maybe this is trolling, but, like, being confused is completely fine. I'm pretty sure most people have been confused about who they are in their life, whether that's regarding what they want to do in life, or their gender, or their sexuality. That's fine to be confused. And sometimes figuring yourself out is very hard, and it's very difficult. And that's fine, and a lot of trans people go through that experience. And, you know, that doesn't make you less valid when you finally figure out what you actually are. But admitting you're confused is more important than saying, oh, I'm this one label, and then changing it. Maybe confused isn't the right word, just questioning. Like, you can just say you're questioning. Maybe you don't know how you feel, and that's kind of what this video seems like.
Transgendered people, like, I've always been fascinated because there are some who transition fully, and then there are some that only transition partially, and then there are some that don't necessarily transition at all but just choose to identify as a different gender. And I think I'm more of, I just choose to identify as a boy. And I don't, and I know this is where it's going to get a little scandalous, I don't love pronouns like they and them, because that's super confusing, I think.
Okay, no more they them pronouns for Trisha Paytas. I think if you find they them pronouns confusing, you're probably not ready to identify as transgender, because, you know, you clearly haven't done your research. I know she's gonna say, can I say she? I can't, do I say he? I don't know what to say. Pretty sure Trisha is gonna say that they them pronouns are plural.
Personal opinion, and that might be unpopular opinion, because I know Sam Smith recently is like, I'm a they or something. That sounds like plural people.
Literally exactly what I said.
And while people think I'm schizophrenic and have multiple personalities, like, I choose not to identify as multiple personalities. So I get it, but I think, like, I don't think you have to necessarily choose one gender. I think you can be a guy some days, and I think you could be a girl some days, and that's how I feel.
Are you saying you're gender fluid? To be honest, I still don't understand, and maybe I'm just not educated on how people can be a guy one day and a girl one day. I would see it as being like, I'm more masculine this day, I'm more feminine this day, but I'm still whatever gender I identify as. So far, we're 6 minutes into this 15-minute video. Trisha said that Trisha is a trans man, but also that some days a girl and some days a boy. They don't like they them pronouns because they're plural, which they're not. They them pronouns are like used in everyday life to, you know, talk about a singular person. Oh, there is a wallet on the floor. Someone dropped their wallet. Like, they're not talking about multiple people. It's not confusing.
So while I love the term like girly and femme, I think that applies to me as a gay man. The problem with identifying as a gay man when you have female body parts is that you're not going to be able to fully satisfy yourself by being with a gay man. No, nor am I going to be able to satisfy a partner, like a gay man partner.
I get what you're saying, and I feel the same as a trans guy. It's not true, though. A pre-transition trans man can fully satisfy a gay man, and I know that's difficult for some people to understand. For me, at least, I wouldn't want to be with a trans man because that would mean extra dysphoria, and also I'm just very much into dick. So for me, being a gay man, I wouldn't feel satisfied with a trans man. But that doesn't mean that every gay man experiences life like that. I know a hell of a lot of gay men, pretty much most gay men I know, would happily be with a trans man and feel completely satisfied and wouldn't feel like they're missing out anything.
And that's what's frustrating, and I think it's frustrating just in general. And as I have watched so many beautiful like transgender people like come out and stuff like that, I know with dating it's very difficult because people, even if you let's say you fully transition, right? I'm just gonna use like a very broad generic transgender person, like male to female, and you have that full transformation. You have breasts and you have a vagina and you have all of that. Even if you have all of that and you tell a guy like, hey, I was born a male, like, guys will be pissed. Straight guys, gay guys, whatever.
I agree and also disagree. Obviously there is a lot of violence towards trans women for this in itself. Obviously, for a lot of other reasons, people just don't like trans people. But there is a lot of instances where straight guys will sleep with trans women and they'll have a great time, and then afterwards they'll regret it because they feel as if that changes their sexuality. And then a lot of the times that leads to violence, which is terrible. I get what she's saying. A lot of guys, straight guys, would be like weirded out by it, but then again, you're not accounting for a lot of guys that wouldn't be weirded out by it. I get what she's saying. I get it. I feel like a lot of the issues I have with this video is just she just doesn't know what words to use or what terms to use. Maybe it's not politically correct, if that's what I'm saying. I don't even think it's that it's not politically correct. I literally just think it's that she's confused, and she doesn't know what terms mean what. She doesn't know how to express herself or express her opinions. Or she could be expressing herself completely correctly, and that's how she feels, but then, again, that would mean she's confused. She's contradicted herself, like, every 30 seconds.
And I'm not saying the world needs to be open. I'm saying with me in my mind, I need to be open. And while my name is Trish, like, I never really identified with that name. I've always actually hated the name Trish. And for some reason, I never liked it, but I just realized now because it's such a, it's a female name, and I don't really identify as female.
I get it. I'm just not sure if you get it in the same way that I do.
Do I fully identify as male? I don't know. Well, now this past week, I had the societal boy haircut, which is like short. And I've never felt more freer and liberated in my life. I wasn't getting looks from gross straight men.
Again, this is going back to the idea that your life would be easier if you were born a dude, and that's correct. It would be in probably any society, but that doesn't mean you're a man. Yes, you didn't get gross looks from straight men. Living as a woman, you will experience instances where, you know, stuff that wouldn't happen to a man happens. And yes, of course, in that moment, you'd be like, wow, it wouldn't be so much easier to be a man, but that doesn't mean you're trans.
I didn't have to worry about hair or my body so much. I know guys are like into their bodies and stuff like that, but I didn't feel that way as a boy. I felt like, oh, I'm really, really free of myself and my body. And while I did have like the boobs in my butt, I felt like a thick boy. And I kind of like love being a thick boy. I don't know. It's kind of like, I know it kind of sounds crazy, and I'm sure people think I'm crazy, but I felt it, and like you'll see in the vlogs, I have a lot of footage. I felt happy, and I felt like I was just feeling.
Liking dressing up as a boy and being happy with it doesn't make you a guy. I don't even know if I have the energy to react to anything T is saying.
I know that's such a misconception that transgender people are confused.
Look, I'm not confused. I know I'm not confused. I don't come across as confused. People don't think I'm confused because the things I say match up with how I am. And I don't contradict myself on every sentence. The reason people think you're confused is because you're acting as if you're confused. And it's not even that you're acting like, oh, I'm confused. It's literally just the fact that everything you say contradicts the thing you said before. But yes, people do think trans people are confused because they're idiots. But in this instance, it's not that.
And it's not that I'm confused, it's that I identify as both.
Okay, so if you identify as both, why don't you just say you're non-binary? And to be honest, it doesn't feel like the issue here is the gender itself. You don't experience dysphoria. You said you liked having your boobs and your butt. Sorry, I got a really itchy nose. The issue here doesn't seem to be gender itself. It seems to be gender roles and gender stereotypes, which are completely different to gender itself. Gender is gender itself. That's a completely different thing to gender roles, which are expectations that society has put on us on like how we should act, how we should dress, things we should do. And I get it would be frustrating living as a woman and having these roles put upon you if you don't, you don't agree with them. And that's completely understandable, but that doesn't make you trans. When you say you identify as both, it kind of sounds like you identify, as being masculine or as being feminine. I think the word you're looking for is gender non-conforming. And even then, it might not even be that. It might just be that you don't like gender roles.
So do I think I'm transgender? Yes, 1,000%. Do I identify with my natural born gender? 1,000%. So
okay, that just clears up the whole video then, doesn't it? If you identify 1,000% with your birth sex, you're not transgender. Being transgender is being uncomfortable with your birth sex. Gender dysphoria is what motivates someone to transition from one gender to the other. Without that, it's pointless. I don't think this is a malicious video. And maybe I'm dumb. Again, I've probably said that a million times. But I just think you're just really confused.
I feel really free and liberated, and I wanted to talk about this because I think it's important that you can identify as masculine, feminine. You can identify as male and female if you choose.
You can identify as masculine and feminine all you want, but gender isn't something that you can just choose. If it was, I wouldn't choose to be trans,
I mean, if you're a man and you love being a man, awesome. If you're a female and love being a female, awesome. But I've never loved being a female. I've never been so excited about being a female.
Here's another thing that a lot of people say when they find out that someone's transitioned. I've heard cis men being like, well, I don't feel like a man, I just am one. But that's because you never had to go through people treating you as a woman. I'm sure if you were treated like a woman and people saw you as a woman, you would have an issue with that, and you'd be like, oh wait, no, this is wrong, I'm a man. That's what being trans is. Of course, someone who is a cis female is not going to be excited about being a cis female because that's just comfortable for them. It's not exciting.
It's not to say like females need to be girly and always have to do their hair and makeup and that's what makes a female. I'm not saying it that way. I'm saying it more of like when I have that masculine male energy in me with the short hair, with the pants, with my boobs strapped down more, with not getting that attention from straight men.
Not wanting attention from straight men does not make you a man. Please.
Not to say you have to change it and call me T. I like the name T because I think that's a very generic and both gender name. But I mean, I'm Trish. That's what it is. That's my born name and stuff like that. But
I just don't understand if you're really uncomfortable with the name Trish, you would continue to call yourself Trish.
I don't know. I think you can be any gender you want to be. I don't think you have to decide what gender you are. I don't think you have to.
That's the thing, though. You don't get to decide what gender you are because it's not a choice. If you actually knew that you were a man, you would know because you were a man, not just because you wanted to be a man. I'm sorry, I'm kind of babbling. I don't feel like there's any point continuing to watch this video.
So, I think a lot of my attraction, especially to gay men as opposed to straight men, come from the fact that I kind of relate to being a gay man. And I know that sounds crazy, and I don't want to offend anyone, but that's how I feel, and that's why I have so many gay guy friends.
So here's the thing, at least in my experience and everybody else's experience who, I've talked to, if someone's a gay man, that doesn't mean they're only attracted to gay men. They can be attracted to straight men or bi men. That doesn't change their sexuality. They're just attracted to men. That's all you have to. That's all you gotta be. A straight woman can be attracted to a gay man. Like, everybody was literally in love with Tom Daley before and after he came out as gay. That doesn't change your gender. I don't know. It's annoying. It's stressing me out because it's not even like, it's funny. It is funny, but I'm not laughing because it's just annoying at this point because so many people have this experience where they're just like, oh, I'm a different gender, because I don't like sexism. Like, come on. I'm sorry. I'm not going to finish this video. It's very infuriating. Not to say that I'm mad at people for being confused, because being confused is fine. And yes, obviously different trans people experience gender in different ways, and they can experience their transition in different ways, and they can feel completely different to someone else of the exact same experience of them. And this is the one instance I'm going to make a video like this and say this. I don't think Trish understands what being trans is. That's from a trans person? Maybe she does. Maybe she is trans. Who knows? But just everything Trish T has said in this video just indicates that confusion is the only diagnosis here. Sorry, my camera died. But yeah, genuinely just think this is confusion, and again, it's okay to be confused. I just think you should have more of a responsibility to educate yourself before, you know, spout this rubbish. So yeah, sorry about that. I hope you have a good day. See you later, losers. Have a good day or don't. My brain is broken. But goodbye! Your poke. There's a contact. Hello, I'm back with more dog pictures. I told you guys I like dogs, so you sent me dog pictures. Here's Stella's dog. Name is Lottie, miniature bull terrier, absolutely gorgeous. Hello. Oh, hello. Can I... pretend that's me stroking a dog. Oh, God. Here's another pic, but my particular favourite is this one. You gotta get it from the lower angle. You gotta get it.